Hello everyone, we're live. How's everyone doing? I'm gonna get our nutritionist Cindy to join us. We're going live. Yes. So, hi Cindy. Hello. Hi Cindy.
Hi Alexandra. Hi, how are you? Good morning.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You look radiant with the sun shining on your face. And I guess you had a good workout too, right?
I'm sweating. I have the Pilates afterglow.
Oh.
So yes, every Friday we have Pilates with weights, and I thought today I'm going to increase my weights to see if it feels better. And I think I'm ready for that weight increase. So I can't wait for a 6 weeks program. I'm going to get you there.
Awesome.
So good to have you, Cindy. It's
Great to
lovely
be here too.
be live. Whoever is going to join us. Hopefully we'll have some nice questions, but we have some really good meaty projects. Meaty, I wouldn't say meaty, but yeah, very important. Shall we go into it?
Sure.
Okay. I know gut health is your specialty, and I was having a lot of questions about incontinence and why this happens. And a lot of my friends also have, by the way, it's all connected, right? They have yeast infections, bladder infections, and I know there are postpartum moms, but also ladies in the late 40s who are close friends of mine who are wondering why they're getting these infections, yeast infections and urine infections all the time. And yes, they don't have as much as incontinence issues, but it is a regular thing, right? Because they go together. Like when you have a urine infection, you need to keep going all the time to just like let the toxins flush out, right? Isn't that related?
Usually people who have one yeast infection, if they don't change their diet and get rid of the yeast in the body, I mean, of course, they would take antibiotics or they'll, drink cranberry juice and things like that. But if a lot of times it'll recur, whether it's a year or 2 years down the road, and there's a higher risk of getting yeast infection vaginally or in the, urinary tract when you have incontinent issues. So like if you have a leaky bladder, if you have weak muscles in your pelvic floor, the urine kind of stays in the tract and around the muscle area, and the moisture breeds bacteria. So there is definitely a connection. I've been seeing a lot of clients who have recurring yeast infections when they're getting to the 40 plus, and they also have this leaky bladder issue. So it kind of makes sense that, when you have moisture and bacteria buildup, you would get growth in yeast and fungus. And so going on an anti-candida diet is very, very important at that phase. An anti-candida diet is really just getting rid of the things that the candida or the yeast, what they feed off of. So all the sugars and alcohol and refined carbs and even some dairy, like milk, especially ice cream, obviously with the sugar, but milk itself is high in lactose. It's a type of sugar as well. So just trying to get rid of that will help reduce the yeast in the body. So yeah, definitely work on the physical, the muscular area, which is your expertise.
Yeah.
And then on the diet side, make changes as well to lower the risk of yeast infections.
So how is this? Okay, so these infections happen because of the hormonal fluctuations, but it's also that we're more sensitive to what we eat, right? That becomes more inflammatory. Is that what's happening? That the estrogen and the progesterone go crazy, and then add on that your diet, right? The more sugar you're craving, more sugar to get the energy, so you eat more, things that they are irritating your bladder and all the connections, all the bacteria. So that's gut health. It's always coming back to gut health, right?
Yeah, gut health, but also like your vaginal tract and that area also has its own microbiome. It also has bacteria down there too. So what you eat will also affect the bacteria in the rest of the body. So if you lower the candida in, taking herbs, which we'll talk about in the program to help people really lower that risk of the yeast infections. So yeah, having a change in diet will also change the microbiome in the vaginal tract. So definitely tied together, but because of the weaker muscles due to the decline of estrogen, because when the estrogen drops, your muscle also gets thinner in the vaginal area and also in the pelvic floor area, so it's weaker. And that combined with the yeast makes it, a perfect storm for getting yeast infections.
Crazy. Yes. And it's not so much, let's say we have the hormones, we have the diet, and we have the exercise. What's the exercise gonna do? I want to go through that because it's really hard for people to imagine, okay, why exercising and doing Pilates is gonna help my vagina and my bladder and everything. I need to tell you. So this is our pelvis. This is where everything is happening, right? Everything here, the pelvic floor muscles are supporting all the organs, big organs. We have our uterus, we have our bladder, we have our rectum, we have a lot of muscles. And if you are a mom as well, you know babies go through. If not, they still put pressure on these muscles being pregnant for 9 months. So these are weak muscles already. Plus, they get thinner and weaker as we lose muscle, as we are losing our estrogen and hormones. So what happens? A lot of the time, you get your bladder really, really full and heavy. And because these muscles are thin, they add more pressure to these muscles. So we have incontinence accidents. And as well, the posture is a big thing because everything starts to go south, right? I say, what does it mean going south? It means that your pelvis also starts getting misaligned and is no longer where it should be. Also from our modern life with slouching over, that puts pressure all over again over these muscles which are thin, the pelvic floor muscles, and let's say that's your bladder, your posture kind of displace as well the bladder, and it comes more heavy and adds more pressure into your already thin and weak muscles here.
Yes.
So that's where all the connection happens with muscle.
Yeah.
And when we're doing Pilates, what happens, not only we correct misalignments and posture, but posture, we strengthen all the muscles over that group, the pelvic floor group that needs to protect everything that's happening, your digestion, your gut health, your uterus. And right here, we only have our spine. There's no other connection. The ribs protect the heart and the lungs, but here is just our muscles that need to be strong to protect. And we lose so much. From 30 plus, we lose 20% of our muscles every year. So if you don't use them, you lose them. And that's what I teach in our Pilates pelvic floor classes. And it's very simple exercises, but very, very effective.
I was going to say that the pressure that you're saying on the bladder is also from belly fat too.
Yes.
I mean, women who are carrying that excess weight around the waist area is actually pushing against the organs, especially the visceral fat.
Yeah.
So those are the fat that's around the organs, and that could pose some issues with, the pressure on the liver and all around the gut. And that affects, the bladder also, putting pressure onto that area.
Very, very good point. And you would think very slim people don't see that fat, but it's internal, it's around the organs, right?
Yes,
so
and we talk about that in our program also, is how do you reduce that visceral fat? It's not something that you see sometimes, it's really inside, and it's a stubborn kind of fat, and it builds up over time, kind of a silent buildup. But yeah, that could be done through movement, through Pilates, and you also can offer exercises that actually have targeted areas. And then through diet changes, you can also add in some thermogenic types of food that will, raise your metabolism, that will actually burn that fat off. So it's very exciting to talk about that and to actually see that implemented in our program.
And all that fragmented food, we're going to talk about how to make your own
kefir.
Everything that is fragmented, natural probiotics always helps with that belly fat, right? It just, the bacteria start working better, so the bloating and all that digestion issue, right? Does it help? Yeah, I can't wait to
It definitely helps to balance out the bacteria, to balance it, but also I would say to alternate the fermented foods and not have the same thing every day, and not even have it every day. You can take breaks from it as well, because for some people, depending on the constitution of the body, fermented foods could raise a little bit of histamine for some people. So it really depends, and that's why I like having a one-on-one as well as the group dynamic, because then a one-on-one private session with a client can really see if certain fermented foods are actually good and not cause, even increased yeast. For some people, especially if they have like a lot of bacteria, SIBO, which is the small intestinal bacteria, off balance, they could have problems with fermented foods. So then we have to try a different approach.
Oh wow, that's so amazing. I didn't know. I thought everybody should have it. So, okay, not everybody tolerates fermented food.
Tolerate.
It's the
Yes. Yeah.
same. Same for me. I mean, everybody's different. People have long legs, longer body, short legs, shorter, so I need to have my privates as well and then check, the issues and what their lifestyle as well. We need to go through, the whole person, what their life is, what they're eating, and the stresses, right? We're going to
Yes.
go through the stress, the cortisol that also affects so much of the belly fat, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that you also are offering a custom one-on-one with this group program that we're starting in June. I really like that you have the one-on-one because I remember some of those exercises for Pilates, I actually get nauseous doing because I don't like inversions very much. I don't
Yeah.
tolerate inversions. So when I have to go upside down or like, put stress on my neck or shoulders, it's not comfortable. So then I have to find another way to strengthen the core and that pelvic floor without having to put any stress on my,
Yes.
upper neck.
Absolutely. Everyone is different, and we need to honor our bodies and don't pretend that we're all the same because we're not. So, this is a very individualized, personalized care that we offer. And not only is so designed just for you and tailored, you can also get the money back from your health insurance. And with Cindy, I like that you offer in these lab tests so that anyone who has some chronic disease and they tried everything and then don't know what is going on, you can check anything from the DNA to their intolerances, food intolerances, and what was the other thing?
Well,
If they
there's
are
heavy metals, heavy metals.
heavy
Yeah.
metals, yeah.
So having a test to see, sorry, it interrupted a little bit. Are you back? Can I hear your voice? Oh, okay.
Yes, a little
Yeah, I was
glitch.
just saying you were going to talk about gut health relating to brain health, and sometimes depending on the metal in the body, let's say somebody had a lot of mercury fillings, they could have some extra mercury in the brain, which is all connected, right? Your mouth is very close to your brain. And some people might have lead pipes in their home, so they have more lead. They've been drinking tap water with lead in it. So that could also affect the tissues. And if that's affected, then oftentimes it's harder to lose weight, or you get more inflammation and you don't even realize why. And you can get joint pains. So having these tests will really understand your terrain, because all of our terrains, our internal chemistry is different. And then we can target it better, right? So it's not really like a one size fits all for the group, and you can have tailored solutions for different people.
Amazing. And oh wow, I really need to do this test myself actually. I know I have to.
Yeah,
I
I
would
think
love
it's good to, honestly, at our age, I think we've accumulated so many years of potential toxicity, right, in our environment. So it's always good to, I call it like a, just a midlife checkpoint, just to see, not just with the blood, because when you do a blood test, it shows, what's in your blood, but also things in your hair, it's secreted out, right? So what is that? And so it's good to get these blood tests, food sensitivity tests, and
yeah.
also the hair test for minerals and metals.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna do the hair test for sure. I'm just I'm just it's probably the pandemic, but nowadays everything can be done online. You can do your lab test online, right? You're
Yes, it's
gonna
so
bring
convenient.
you send the kits, you do it, and then we chat, and you tell me what the results are, and everything, even the group classes we do, everything is online. It doesn't matter where you guys are located, and if you're not able to make it to the time zone, everything is going to be recorded. Everything we discuss, all the assignments, all the Pilates videos, they're going to be recorded. They're going to be in the LOVJOY app, and they're going to be yours for 3 months. And if you want to extend, there are going to be some discount to extend if you need to have the whole LOVJOY up for the year. There's going to be some discounts and prices. Do we talk about the prices, or we leave that for another live?
Oh, we could have that as a surprise.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Okay.
want to motivate you. We want to keep you accountable so we stay on track together, so we get the results, we get the transformation. And the fact that you have it in your app is something that they can, refer back to. because these pelvic floor exercises is something you want to maintain through your life. As we age, as our hormones change, I think it's so important to build that good foundation and then to maintain it.
Yeah, and of course the meal plans that you're going to share, the grocery list, all that stuff is going to be also, all these resources that will be in the app as well, right?
Definitely. So recipes to help you burn that visceral fat, drinks, teas, herbal remedies, it's all going to be in that app.
What a great value. I can't believe this is like the dream package. Right. Okay, so you guys, you have until the end of this month to make the best of the price. The price is $6.97. It goes up 1st of June because then we start in a week. We start the 6th of June, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have any more questions, we're happy to do another live and you can let us know what your questions are. But we're going to nail all the 40 plus issues. We're going to go there. We're going to go there.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Have a nice Friday, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Poop.